Now at 5, people looking to beat the heat on Savvi Island now have to go through a new system. Why not everyone is happy with that change?
I get why they did it, but it's kind of like, okay, all right, one more thing to go through.
Plus in Idaho, a gathering of firefighters to mourn and honor two of their own killed on duty.
Solidarity and commitment, they're more than just words.
And later on, public and private leaders in Oregon speak out after one of the state's largest employers announces layoffs.
We cannot let that slide.
And we're going to start things off by taking a look outside where the Rose City continues to bake under clear blue skies. Thanks so much for joining us here at 5. I'm John Adams. Meteorologist Joe Ranieri is joining us tonight. And Joe, we're already seeing hot temperatures by early afternoon today, and it has only gotten hotter since then.
Absolutely right, and we're looking at a few locations down with the central and southern part of the Willamette Valley, like I told you last night, John, that are getting close to that 100-degree mark. Now, PDX, you're seeing temperatures right around the mid-90s, but we are still going to keep up the weather impact alert the rest of this evening. This heat advisory is still in play until 10 o'clock tonight. It stretches up and down the I-5 corridor throughout the Columbia River Basin. There's also a fire weather warning throughout parts of the Columbia River Gorge starting tomorrow afternoon until tomorrow night at 11 o'clock. And again, we are going to be looking at a very warm stretch of weather over the next couple of days. And we're going to be basically looking at daytime highs right around the mid-90s or so. My computer kind of froze up on me, so bear with me here. Let me see if this clicker is working. It's not working either. So anyways, John, we'll get to the detailed forecast in just a few minutes. But my point being is, yeah, we're going to be under that weather impact alert the rest of tonight. But again, I'm still forecasting the heat to start arriving Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Now, I dialed the temperatures down just a bit, but still, we're going to be looking at a stretch of 95 or better Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That is the hottest stretch we've seen so far this summer. And I'll talk more about that in just a few minutes and get my weather computers working again, too.
All right, Joe, sounds good. We'll see you soon. Well, to the latest now on the Highland Fire, which is about 2 miles south of Prineville. Crews are facing high temperatures and wind gusts today. Overnight, they set up a perimeter around the entire fire, but it's still not contained. But they've been able to keep it from spreading beyond the 1,500 acres it spread to yesterday. Aerial resources will be able to help out firefighters on the ground who are working on cooling hotspots. There are level 3 go now evacuations in place, as well as level 2 and 1 evacuations. Follow KGW on air and online for the latest wildfire coverage. Well, the high temperatures today and throughout the week means people will be looking to cool off at the beach. Well, it's now the second weekend of the new parking pilot program on Savvi Island, where a Savvi Island Beaches Pass is now required along with your permit. Celine Stevens went back out to Savvi Island today to hear about how it's been going so far. Celine.
John, so it's all been going well so far, according to the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife. Despite offering 1,500 passes today, by this afternoon capacity was reached at the beaches, and if you didn't already have your parking permit or beaches pass, people were turned away.
How's it going today, man? You going to the beach?
I am.
All right, awesome. Do you have your parking permit?
A wildlife area parking permit and a free Savvi Island Beaches Pass are required if you plan on heading to any of the beaches on Savvi Island during a weekend or holiday this summer.
I made sure to get it done on my ODFW app this morning. Yeah, easy peasy.
This being the second weekend of the pilot program.
What you see here today is we're helping people that come through, because you can buy this online. Just go to myodfw.com and click buy license. You can also get it through SavviIslandParking.com.
The Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife stating they offered 1,500 passes Sunday, yet by 2:30 in the afternoon, the beach's lots reached capacity, something Michelle Dennehy somewhat expected given the heat. She says the new system has helped with overcrowding.
We're definitely seeing that we don't have the kind of parking and traffic problems that we were experiencing. So definitely we're seeing that. We're hearing some good feedback from people coming through.
I've been here on the worst of the worst days. I mean, so if it's better than that, I hope that will improve the experience for everybody.
Years ago when I used to come here, we kind of had to park like how we are now. And there used to be cars on the roadways too, blocking other people in.
And while not everyone was in the loop about the new rules,
we were stopped up there and they told us we had to get the beach pass and showed us how to do it on the phone.
So I'll have you scan that QR code.
Operations still moved quickly, getting everyone what they needed and where they needed to go.
I showed it, and I just said, hey, here's the date, and guys said, go on in.
The line didn't bother me. We got here about 11 and it was okay. Some of our friends got stuck in line, about 10 people long, but nothing crazy.
Remember, this new pilot program only goes through Labor Day and only applies to weekends and holidays. The ODFW strongly encourages people to get their passes and permits before they arrive. John?
All right, Selene, folks still learning how this new system is going to work. Thank you. Well, search and rescue crews in Mount Hood National Forest are totaling 70 people and continuing to look for a missing mountain biker. 52-year-old Ralph Sawyer did not return from his planned biking trip on Friday. His car has been found with his phone inside, but other than that, crews have not found any new signs of his location. They're centering their search around the East Still Creek Road and roads around Trillium Lake. Sawyer is 6'1" with brown hair. He was last seen wearing an orange bike helmet, blue shirt, and black shorts. If you have any information, you're asked to call 503-723-4949. Developing in Washington County, sheriff's deputies are investigating two separate crashes involving bicyclists. The first happened sometime Saturday night along Northwest Dairy Creek Road, but it wasn't until this morning that cyclist was found. Investigators say the cyclist was hit by a car and the driver left the scene. She spent the night outside, injured and alone in a ditch. She's since been taken to a local trauma center. The second incident happened just before 11 this morning at Northwest Old Cornelius Pass Road and Cornelius Pass Road. In this case, witnesses say they saw the male cyclist cross directly in front of a moving car. The cyclist was hospitalized and is in critical condition. Deputies are not investigating any crimes in this case.
We're all breaking for the community, and it doesn't happen in Coeur d'Alene.
9 days after an ambush in Idaho killed 2 firefighters and critically injured a third, their brothers and sisters in service gathered to pay tribute. Alex McClune spoke to a Marysville firefighter who was one of the local first responders there to watch the procession and honor their families.
Marysville firefighter Jacob McConkey is home after taking in the eye-opening procession in Idaho.
We had the honor to join fellow firefighters from across the country. We were able to stand side by side 3 deep and honor the family as they came in and to usher our brothers as they departed.
Hundreds of first responders from the Puget Sound lined the streets to honor Battalion Chiefs John Morrison and Frank Harwood, killed in what officials call a targeted attack while responding to a wildfire.
Solidarity and commitment, they're more than just words, and we do that by showing up and circling the wagons.
West Pierce firefighters joined 100-plus pipers and drummers, current and retired first responders from the Seattle area. The third firefighter shot, Dave Tisdall, remains hospitalized. Coeur d'Alene firefighters say this week he is stable but has no feeling from the chest down.
The best thing I saw was a video of Dave's feet when his toe flicked back and forth, and it was awesome. Like, best news we've had all week long.
Tisdall's wife and 3 children haven't left his side. As his fellow firefighters say, he begins a long, uncertain recovery.
He's got a long recovery ahead of him, a long, hard recovery, but that man can do anything, and I just want Dave back here, and we're just waiting to have him back.
Despite the danger, firefighters continue to put their lives on the line.
In dark times like these, it's important that we all come together. We live in an uncertain world right now, and anything can happen at any time.
In other news, local business and political leaders are calling on Oregonians to show a little love for Intel as it's set to lay off more than 2,000 employees this week. Intel Corp initially indicated Tuesday the company would be laying off 529 manufacturing employees. But by the end of the work week, that number had nearly quadrupled to roughly 2,400. At this point, the layoffs are set for Tuesday, July 15th at 4 Intel campuses in Aloha and Hillsboro. The company announced earlier layoffs were necessary due to high costs and financial concerns. Leaders in the community say this isn't just an Intel problem. They say cuts will affect people and businesses all around the state.
These are Oregonians, these are families. The ripple effect is real. It's not just when that person loses their job, how it just doesn't affect them. There is a ripple effect to the community.
Oregonians, wake up. This is another moment to stand back and think about the fact that we need to appreciate every single business, whether it employs 2 people or 22,000 people.
Well, they say Intel is Oregon's largest private employer, and the employees generate a lot of tax revenue to help support local schools and community programs. The Portland Business Journal said the revised figure means this will impact nearly 12% of Intel's 20,000 employees.